make sure we're working. Yes. All right. First thing you need to write down, and this needs to be somewhere where you can keep it. Well, by the way, since this is notes, you can write it on here because you're not turning this in. We're going to do all 20 problems together. Some of these are really fast, so it's not as much as you think. But here's what you need to write down. These are the properties of logarithms. The first one is when you have log of a to the b. Now let's change that. I don't like that letter. Just don't use b. X. Yeah. This is one that has an exponent. Log of a to the x is the same as it becomes times out front. It becomes a coefficient. So those are the same thing. So if you have log of something to some power, the power goes out in front times the log. So this is your first logarithm law. Your second one, log of a times b is the same as the sum of those two logs. And you're going to have to learn to go back and forth from one side to the other, be able to change them. This is called expanded form. This is called simplified. This is expanding it. Same thing here. And then the last one is the log of division. Guess what that's going to go to? Thank you. The difference of the logs. Didn't it make sense if I went from multiplication to addition? I would go from division to subtraction. So the log of a minus the log of b is this one. Didn't put the a. Okay? These are your basic log properties on how you can expand them and simplify them. And now we're going to just work a bunch of these using these laws. See if you can rewrite number one. Should take you about 2 seconds. How many have it already? Okay. Brooke, what'd you get? 2 log a. How many got that right? Very good. So you're just following what the log tells you, the property tells you to do. We're doing simple one-step problems right now, but some of them are going to have all 3 logs in one, all properties in one situation where you have to expand all of the situations in one problem. All right. Do number 2. Give yourself a bonus point. Who wants to give me the answer to this one? Yes, sir. Very good. So this would be, since it's a product, it goes to a sum, doesn't it? So you have log of 8 plus log of 11. Now, what are all the bases on these? Thank you. Remember? There's no base written here. It's all automatically understood to be 10. Do you remember that? Okay. Give yourself a bonus point. I'm not going to tell you any more about bonus points. You get 1 for each problem. A lot of bonus points coming if you want them. Do the next one. Actually, I already gave you that one, didn't I? Let's not count that one, because that's already written on your paper, isn't it? With A and B, isn't it already? Yeah. Do number 4. Like that's any harder. Now, something you need to be aware of when I rewrite this is the log of 6 minus the log of 5. Order makes a difference. It must be the top first. Does that make sense? Also, you can't subtract those and say log of 1. Can't do that. That's just changed to an expanded form. We'll deal with how to work with those later. Give yourself a bonus point and do number 5. Excuse me. Oh, I'll give you 2 on this one if you know how to do it without me telling you.
Are these supposed to be like exponents, like log and this down there, log next to it?
The base is 10. It's already the base is not written because it's 10. Is that what you mean? I'm sorry? Think you know the answer? Zach thinks he knows the answer. How many think you know the answer? What do you got, Zach? No. Yes. I'm impressed with that because I really didn't think anybody would know what to do with this. This is the answer. But you have to rewrite it first as an exponent. Do you remember how we learned how to write from radical to exponent? And didn't I tell you if it's a square root, it's to the 1/2 power. If it's a cube root, it's to what power? 1/3. So if you rewrote this like this first, it would be that. Now, doesn't your exponent property tell you that it becomes a coefficient out front? Haven't we already done 2 or 3 of those? Give yourself 2 if you had that right without me telling you before I started explaining. All right. 6 is easy. Write that one down just to be safe. So what's that going to be? 4 log x. Number 7, 5 log x. Do number 8. What's this one going to be? It shouldn't take you that long either. Log x plus log y. Okay. Do number 9 if you haven't yet. We're just doing enough of these to make sure it sinks in and you remember it. No. These are too easy to remember. Multiplication goes to addition. Division goes to subtraction. It's not that hard to remember. This one's log 2 minus log 5, right? Okay. Now you should be able to do that one easy. Write the answer. It's similar to the one we did earlier, isn't it? So what's the answer to this one? 1/3 log u. Right. Now I'm going to show you another way that they write the answer. They do this sometimes. Because if I took 1/3 times the log of u, this is what it would look like. So this is the same thing as 1/3 log u. I just wanted you to see it that way. You mean if it was the 4th root? Yeah. Yes. If it was the 5th root, it'd be 1/5. So on. What if it was this, though? Just so you see if you remember this. 2/3 log u. Right? Remember how to become this becomes the top, this is the root. Remember this? We learned how to do that a couple of weeks ago. So yes, that would be 2/3. Very good. All right. Are we on the back page now? Now we're going to do a combination of laws or properties. Just think about it. What makes sense to you that you should do first here? You can't do them all at once. Do not try to do them all at once. What do you think you should do first here? There's 2 properties there. Which one should we do first? Nope. This is not order of operations. Forget that. Throw that out the window. Do not think in terms of order of operations. You should subtract first. You should do this. What's division go to? If there were no exponents there, you know how to do that, don't you? Well, you still do that. So you would have in the first step log u to the 4th minus log v to the 6th. Then, what would you do to both of those? Wouldn't this be 4 log u minus 6 log v? Isn't that what we do with the exponent law for logarithms? Now here's the reason. These are connected by this. You can't do anything to them yet. See how this connects the two and then this separates them again. Expands them. It's kind of hard to get, but after a while, if you practice it, it'll get easy. All right, let's see if you can do that one. That one's a little tougher. I'll give you a chance to do this one. I will really be impressed if you get this. Very impressed. What I've done is given you 20 examples of everything you're probably going to run into. So when you do your homework, you can always look back at this and see an example that looks like the problem. Well, if I get done, yes. We'll probably get finished. It's over here. You're going to have tomorrow to work on it in a long period. Or a regular period, yeah. It's still going to be longer than this. It'll be 45 minutes. But this won't be due till Monday. Now, first thing, anytime something has got everything trapped or connected, you got to do it first. Now, how many remember I said forget about order of operations? But what needs to be removed so that parentheses would be gone? The 3. Exactly. You can't go in here and do anything. This locks everything in there. So what should I do with that first according to our log? No. Well, you could. But I'm afraid you might get lost on that. All right, what would you do if you had that? I'll let you do that. Go ahead. That is something you can do. It's not really called distributing, though. This is not the distributive property. This is an exponent power to a power property, which means you multiply exponents. So you're right, you got to get rid of it by doing that, and in a sense that's what you're doing. But it would equal that. 3 to the 3rd, 11 to the 12th. How many did that? Oh, I'm impressed. That is mathematically correct. There's another way to do it. What's the log property say you do with an exponent? Out front. You could have done this. Then have log of 3 to the 1st times 11 to the 4th like that. No, I'm just saying you could do this. I'm going to show you both ways. Now, how would I start? What's the next step here? Well, I want to show every step. So it would be log 3 to the 3rd plus log 11 to the 12th, wouldn't it? Then what would it be? 3 log 3 plus 12 log 11, and now you're done. Now I want you to look at this one. If I keep the 3 out here, wouldn't I separate these first? Log 3 plus log 11 to the 4th, right? Then I would do log 3 plus 4 log 11, right? The exponent goes out front. Distribute the 3, and guess what we get? Same thing. Either way works. I'm just showing you either way works. All right. But your way, this way is correct also. Anybody finish that before I did and get it? Okay, good. Give yourself 2 bonus points on these. These are good. I'm impressed. You're getting it quickly. See if you can write this one. How many could write the answer without even writing 2 steps? That means you're really getting it. As long as you're getting them right, that's okay, but some of you, I don't want you getting lost now on it. What's the final answer for this? I think you got it. 4 log 5 plus 3 log 6. Very good. How many got that? Excellent. 14. Ooh, yeah. This one's fun. But we did one similar to it on the other side that should help you. Didn't we have a cube root on the other side? All right, what's the answer to this one? Well, that's the first step. Right? But here's the only problem. No, you don't have to do that first. That would be the way remember how I did the long way on the problem before? This would be the long way. Or, first thing you really should do to be safe if you want to do your steps is this. Isn't that what the cube root means? And aren't all of them under the cube root? So that's why I put a parentheses around all of them to the 1/3. Then wouldn't this be the same as putting this out front? Or if you wanted to, what you call distributing, multiply wouldn't all of these be to the 1/3 if we multiplied it in? So that's a way to do it. U to the 1/3, V to the 1/3, W to 1/3. But what's our final answer going to be? 1/3 log what? U plus, not times, 1/3 log V, right? Plus 1/3 log W. And then no, you're not done yet. Then you got to distribute the 1/3. There can be no parentheses left. No parentheses left. You haven't finished if you haven't done that. This has to be the final answer any way you do it. How many got there on your own? Okay. 2 on that one. Do number 15. Do 15 if you haven't yet. Some of you probably be good enough at this that you can do the steps in your head and write the answer probably. Is anybody doing that? Okay. These are not extremely complicated ones. I could show you some more that are a lot more complicated, but we're not going to get into that. What's the final answer for this one? 2 log U plus 6 log V. Bless you. How many got that right? Excellent. Well, remember how this is a 1 here? So if I take 2 times both of these, you're going to get log U squared V to the 6th. Right? And then this is the same as log U to the 2nd plus log V to the 6th. And then that can be written like this. If you want to show every step, every property. Do 16. We've already done one like this, haven't we? So you should be able to write the answer to that in no time. How many finished all 20 already? Okay. Do what? You did? So this one would be what? 1/3 log 7 plus 1/3 log 6 plus 1/3 log. Pretty easy. Do 17 if you haven't yet. We're going to get them done here. Well, that one's easy. 17's easy. How many have already written this answer? So what's this answer? 3 log 8 plus 6 log 5. Very good. And the last one? Or no, we got 3 more, don't we? Okay, now I'm not. Do 18. What's the answer? Four log x minus, because of the division, right? 2 log y. How many had that? That's it. 19. I want to finish these before the bell here. We can do that. That's easy. Let's do 20. Is it harder? Oh, they're all easy, aren't they? You don't need to do the last 2, do you? I already did 18. We just did 18. 19 is going to be 1/2 log 8 plus 1/2 log 11 plus 1/2 log 3. Because the square root would be 1/2, right? Yes? Square root is 1/2. Everybody okay with that? Feel like you learned the properties.